sale of your building and the conversion of your building into a condominium or whatever other form it takes really are two different processes. And it works better if we talk about them separately before we try to figure out how they work together. So what I'm going to try to do is get to as many of these questions as I can, and if you find at the end that I haven't even come close to addressing something, you can ask the question. I'm going to take a few questions at the end. If I can't get to your question, or if I don't know the answer, I'll leave my work phone number, and you guys can call me at work. I work for the city technically, and you guys can call me there, and I'll try to figure out the answer to your question, or something that makes sense, okay? All right, so what I've handed out to you there is the very same sheet that I should probably explain who I am and what I do. My name is Kofi, and I work for an organization called University Legal Services. University Legal Services is the technical assistance provider who's been contracted by the city to give out information and technical assistance when it comes to tenant purchase. What does that really mean? That means when you receive a notice of offer of sale, that's your letter. That's a letter that your landlord typically sends to you that triggers the whole tenant purchase process. That's what's informing you that he's interested in selling your building. At the bottom of that letter, in section 11 or the 11th paragraph, when it talks about assistance, who you should call to get information, typically it's my phone number. You pick up the phone, dial the number, and my phone's going to ring. And so what I'm tasked with doing is, if you want to find out some more information about how the process works, and if you want to figure out from a dollars and cents perspective, from beginning to end, to some degree, what this is going to look like, I'm supposed to come out and speak to you and hopefully a group of your neighbors and give you a better understanding of what this whole thing is so that you can make an informed decision about what your rights are. And not only that, how you can effectively use those rights to get something tangible. Because, rights on a piece of paper don't really mean much. You can't really turn them into something. So that's who I am and that's what I do. Back to this. So what you have in front of you is the very same sheet that when I come out and talk to tenant groups about their tenant purchase rights, this is the sheet that I pass out. And we're going to go through this really quickly and kind of discuss the timeline and hopefully kind of convert that timeline into some kind of, understanding of how it's kind of a tangible bit of leverage that you guys have in the process. I know it seems like tenants, you don't have a lot of options, you don't have a lot of power. Hopefully this will help you realize that you really do have a lot of power in the context of what's happening. And then the other thing I want to do, after I'm finished with that, is I'll discuss a little bit about what is a condo, what is a co-op, for those of you who might get a little bit confused as to the differences or the structure. I'm only going to spend a few minutes on that. And then the third thing I'm going to do is I'm then going to switch it over and do a brief run-through of the condo conversion process and try to highlight in both the sale process and in the conversion process what your rights are, what some of your obligations are, and with regard to those rights, what kind of power do they provide tangibly, if any, and what kind of things do you have to look out for. Now, this will not be as detailed as the presentation I typically give at people's homes. That presentation can last an hour and a half, 2 hours with questions just on the sale. I also typically do not cover the conversion because by then they've moved on and they have their own legal counsel who's representing them. I can talk about it, but this is my primary focus, and that's something that